Dr. Marcia M. Lineham is the developer of dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, and a professor of psychology and of psychiatry and behavioral sciences, and director of behavioral research and therapy clinics at the University of Washington. Her primary research interest is in the development and education of evidence-based treatments for populations with high suicide risk and multiple severe mental disorders. Dr. Lineham's contributions to suicide research and clinical psychology research have been recognized with numerous awards, including the Gold Medal Award for Lifetime Achievement in the Appellation of Psychology from the American Psychological Foundation and the James McKean Cattell Award from the Association of Psychological Sciences. In her honor, the American Association of Suicidal created the Marcia Lineham Award for Outstanding Research in the Treatment of Suicidal Behavior. She is a Zen master and teaches mindfulness and contemplative practices via workshops and retreats for the healthcare providers. All right, so I am all done reading from the book. Now I'm going to explain the content of the chapters. I don't want to read word for word. I did that with about the author for Miss Lineham, and also for the little quote she had at the beginning that was typed. But yeah, no more reading. Now I'm going to explain. So the introduction to this book, it's like an introduction to any book. It tells you what it's about. And this book, it tells us it's about attaining the dialectic behavior skills training, because these skills are what's going to help you through everything. And that's primarily what it's teaching. I would have to say, too, that this book, the way that it's set out and presented, reminds me a lot of the therapy books you were forced to buy if you ever had a DUI, DWAI, those group therapy sessions, and the handouts and the format. This book really reminds me of that. And it's still chock full of good information. Those DUI books were chock full of good information. It's just if we choose to read it and learn it, But to kind of summarize how this book particular is, it's organized in 5 main sections, and the first section is general skills, the orientation and analyzing behaviors, figure out where you're at. But the other 4 now, those are the ones, it's the beef of the book. And the book really plays off of the handouts, and you can go online and just type in DBT skills handouts and you'll find them all. I'm not gonna put them in here, that's gonna get me in trouble, so you do that on your own. I'll tell you about it and tell you how it works, because it does work and it's great, and I hope you can use it. But the other skills are mindfulness, interpersonal effectiveness skills, emotional regulation skills, and distress tolerance. And those all sound crazy right now, but once we get into them and start learning what these things are, things start becoming a lot more clear, like anything in life. But let's check out what the general skills and orientation is all about. Orientation and analyzing behavior. That's going to be the first of 5 sections of the book, and it's pretty much just going over the biosocial theory and some like explanations of why we are the way we are or the way social interactions happen. But it's going to teach us how to analyze behavior. And it has a couple of things that it uses. A chain analysis, which we'll get into once we get into that chapter, and the missing link analysis. And these are going to be tools that help us analyze behavior. The next major section in the book is the mindfulness skills. And not only is this one of my favorite skills and chapters of the book, but it does a lot. But it's going to focus on your core mindfulness skills. And for those of you that don't know what mindfulness is, it's the way we perceive reality and to see it how it is, because a lot of times we don't see reality how it is because we're so caught up in the moment, so emotionally engaged in what's going on that reality slips right through our fingers. But mindfulness skill, that's going to be a good one. Next one is the interpersonal effectiveness skills. And these are great too, but it's going to teach you how to be effective interpersonally, how to deal with people once there's issues, once there's not. It's going to give you the tools you need to deal with personal issues that come up. Not personal, but maybe personal. Personal more in the effect that it's coming from another person. Anyway, that's that. The next skill, emotion regulation. That is the next skill. And pretty much it's just what it says. It's emotion regulation. It's going to give us the tools and help us understand and recognize once we are acting out of our emotional mind and not out of reality, really. Once we learn how to change our emotional responses and understand and name what's happening once we feel those emotions coming. All right, and moving on to the last one, it's going to be distress tolerance skills, and that's another great one. They're all great ones, but distress tolerance skills are going to be like if you're out in the world and something happens, it's crisis survival skills. It's their reality acceptance skills. They have a different name for it once we get a little bit further. Well, different names for how to act, how the distress tolerance can you gotta snap out of it. And they got some really cool skills to snap you out of a crisis situation if you feel you're in one. And it can be anything from somebody saying hi or not saying hi once you go by, and that causing a meltdown in your head. Like, who knows? But we'll definitely get into it. It's all good stuff. The last section of this chapter is titled Numbering of Handouts and Worksheets. And all it really is just going over, recapping what we just went over and just giving helpful hints. Well, next up is going to be General Skills Orientation and Analyzing Behavior. That will be the next chapter we hit in depth. Hope you got something out of this, and I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.